Good evening, Rotorua. Tonight on City News, the Rotorua District Councillor Charles Sturt says he's hoping for good things from Grow Rotorua. Red Stag and Fine Line Creatives design wooden mountain bikes, and the Samsung Experience Olympic Mobile Museum rolls into town next week. Those stories and more coming up next on City News. The Rotorua District Councillor Charles Sturt says now that the long-term plan has been adopted, it's time for Council to knuckle down and move forward. One of the initiatives adopted by Council in the LTP is the setting up of the Council-controlled organisation Grow Rotorua. Mr Sturt says he was sceptical at first, but now supports the initiative and hopes they do well.
And I didn't support it because I thought it would have been better to have an in-house statutory committee of Council. But now they've been appointed, I'm right behind it. I want them to get on with the job, and I want to see some results.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think it's overall it's a good concept, but it needs some teeth again, doesn't it, to get things done? And I think that's what the public, people watching right now, are saying. Okay, well let's see something.
And you know, whilst I've questioned and I challenge people and things like that, but at the end of the day, when you lose the argument, you move on. You support what's going on, and hopefully they will deliver the goods. And if they don't, well, someone's got to be held accountable for it. And that's my job. That's my role as a custodian of the ratepayers' money.
More from Charles in tonight's City News. Local businesses have achieved a world first by designing 2 competitive mountain bikes made from radiata pine. Red Stag and Fine Line Creatives designed the bikes to show how timber can be used for building 21st century products. Designer Tony Hadlow says the bikes will tour conferences and trade shows to demonstrate the versatility of renewable timber. He says it's hard for people to believe the bikes are made from wood.
Yeah, people think that the actual bikes, they can't believe that it's made of wood. They think it's a trick, but it's not. It's actually real and it works. So, I mean, it shows that with a bit of innovation you can make anything out of timber, and you know, timber's a viable product for building anything, construction of anything, and the display actually speaks to that. Talks about the renewable, sustainable resource and the fact that it's a high quality building material. And you know, I mean, I suppose in New Zealand timber has been used in housing for forever, and the modern context of that, I mean, Red Stag's at the top of that, of the timber framing, and the timber performs very, very well.
In sport tonight, could this finally be the year for the Waikato Bay of Plenty Magic? The franchise has played in every final of the ANZ Netball Championship so far, and last night booked a place in the 2012 final. In a dominant spell of extra time, the Magic won 57-48 against the Northern Mystics in the ANZ Championship preliminary final in Auckland. After their shocking start to the season, the Magic are the comeback team of the season. Coach Nolene Taurua says they'll be relying on quality training rather than the quantity of training sessions this week. She says she hopes this new approach is what's needed for the Magic to win Sunday's final against the Vixens. As athletes begin arriving in London for the Olympic Games, locals can look forward to some Olympic spirit when the Samsung Experience Track rolls into town. Sport Bay of Plenty marketing manager Melanie Short says Samsung, along with the New Zealand Olympic Committee, have developed the mobile museum. She says along with the Samsung Experience Track are sports activities for the school children taking part.
We've collaborated with the local sports clubs, and we've got 4 stations, if you like. So we've got the Olympics track, which is the 5th, athletics, gymnastics, volleyball, and one other sport are coming along, and they're going to be running the mini Olympics for the primary school kids. So they spend half an hour at each station, as well as the Olympics track.
The New Zealand Mobile Museum are at the Energy Event Centre next Tuesday the 24th and Wednesday the 25th of July. To Weather Now, Rotorua, brought to you by Trevor Robson Signs and Graphics Limited. Tonight, fine weather with southerlies developing, an overnight low of 1. Tomorrow, Wednesday, fine with a morning frost. Light winds with a high of 13 and a low of -2. Looking out to Thursday, fine with morning frost and light winds, a high of 13 and a low of -2. Marine forecast for Lake Rotorua for Wednesday. Southerly easing to 10 knots early morning, then easing to variable 5 knots around midday. Waves less than half a metre, otherwise fine weather. Still to come tonight on City News, we're at the 50th annual Rotorua Bird Show. I check out the Peppy Pod initiative at the Lakes DHB, and Wayne Douglas talks with District Councillor Charles Sturt.